Hello friends, welcome back. Today I have another video that's especially to those of you who are in the beginning of starting a YouTube channel. You aspire to build one, but you have no idea how to go about it, or you might ask yourself how I managed to build mine. Because that's exactly what I've been talking about with an aspiring filmmaker from Norway who I had this phone call with together that you're going to be seeing in this video. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer clip. It has a lot of value because I'm explaining exactly how I managed to grow here, how difficult it was in the beginning, what I did to start my YouTube channel. So that should give you an idea how you can achieve that as well. And the reason why I'm sharing this video today is because if you haven't heard about it, later this week on Thursday, the 28th of November, I'm going to be organizing a free creator meetup event in Stockholm. And that has the exact same idea. And that is to share and hear other creator stories so that you might find yourself in how they started and how difficult it was for them. So that you realize that those people that you see on YouTube, they are not more talented, they're not prettier, they're not smarter. They might have just done it for a little while longer and were a bit more persistent. So I'll hope that sharing my story and the way that I did it is going to help you to go out and achieve the same. So let's jump into that clip. How about you tell me like 1 or 2 minutes how I can help you, what I can do for you?
Well, so far I've been putting out some videos, but I'm struggling a bit with sort of figuring out how to get the ball rolling, figuring out what kind of channel to start up.
To me, mostly is it kind of travel videos so far that you've been doing?
Yeah, travel, and I've done some time lapsing as well.
Okay, cool. So in general, like my advice in the beginning would be, I wouldn't be too worried about it in the beginning because it's simply something that you will figure out along the way. For me, it was kind of similar. In the beginning, I didn't really have any sort of clear focus or idea what my entire channel would be about. The first 2 videos that I posted on my YouTube channel ever were like 2 car videos that I recorded with a friend of mine. And then after that, I made a trip to Thailand, and then I made 6 weeks long of travel vlogs. And then eventually from that, I shifted into making vlog about becoming a freelancer. So I didn't know it right from the get-go what I would be doing. I figured it out along the way. And so whenever you start posting videos that are like in your field of interest, then you will quickly find what you have most fun in making. And then it's basically the decision that you have to take at one point is, are you making YouTube because it's enjoyable for you and you want to do it as a hobby? Or are you considering it as a business? And for me then very quickly it was the decision, okay, I'm going to consider it as a business. And that means that it's my marketing channel. So I am promoting myself and presenting myself as that in that role that I want to later be hired for. And that was exactly as an editor or a videographer.
Yeah, so are you planning to like make the YouTube channel in itself your main job, or you just want to keep on editing and using that as a sort of showcase?
No, the strategy is basically to split it up in different pillars that I basically can make a living off from. Because what I noticed at the moment, like let's say 95% of all my revenue this year comes from freelance video projects. But then eventually I don't want to be dependent on this. And the long-term goal, of course, would be that the YouTube channel in itself is also bringing a side income or maybe even the main income. So that, for example, I'm not dependent on when I only get very few, let's say, client requests, that I need to take one or lower my prices or any of that stuff, so that I'm not too tied to one revenue stream.
Yeah, I get you.
So that's my main thought behind the YouTube channel. That is like my second or third even source of income. And the freelancing, I knew that was just the quickest way to get paid enough to do this full time. Because the YouTube, it's just going to take so long until you have developed a proper income from that. So I knew that the only way with the skills that I had at that moment would be to offer my services as a freelancer.
Another thing I was thinking about, so with your channel, was there like one video that went like semi-viral, or was it a steady grow of subscribers over time?
No, that was like if you really want to see it, are you using Social Blade? Then you can see like the exact statistics from how my channel has grown. In general, I've had a couple of bumps, and those were either connected to videos or either me appearing in someone else's video. So last year I've been editing the vlogs for an American guy living in Sweden, and then here I appeared in one of his videos. And that bumped me, at that point in time, I had, I think, like 400 subscribers, and that bumped me up to like 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then here got like 1 or 2 more plugs in his videos. And then here, I think I got mentioned on another channel, and I then was at 2,000. and then basically didn't grow much over a period of 3 months where I've been uploading like crazy. And then eventually I uploaded my first reaction video. That's like the series that's working really well on my channel right now.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
And then the first of those videos took off. So it went from like 2,600 subscribers to 10,000 in like 3 weeks or so. So
nice.
That was really when that took off. And then I posted more of those videos. And then eventually, I think in like middle of May, that's when basically I stopped posting videos because I was busy doing all sorts of client projects. And I was just focusing on doing all the client stuff and get that out of the way.
Well, that's cool.
But that only came after, like, especially in this time from last October till January this year, I've been experimenting around with so many different kind of videos, formats on my channel. And then in the end, only one of them popped, but that was the one that then eventually worked. And then I just hammered onto that and created more of those videos because I knew it would be nice to turn it into a playlist, and then people would binge watch the videos and that sounds to me like you've not only watched one, but one of those.
Yeah, I've definitely watched a few of them.
Yeah, and that was the intention then. Once I saw that one was working, I just put out more of those so that people would watch them back to back, and that's eventually what brings subscribers, because when people see one video of yours, and the channel doesn't say much else, then it doesn't convince immediately, except you have like a super exceptional video that nobody has ever seen before. But if they then see a second and a third and the fourth video that then is really convincing, then that's the moment when they click the subscribe button.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
By the way, if you're getting value out of these kind of phone calls and you'd like to talk with me personally, just like you see in this conversation, then down in the description there's a short explanation how you can reach out to me, and then we might be jumping on a phone call together. Let's continue with the session.
So when you're doing the vlogs and like daily videos, how much planning do you do before you go out? Mm-hmm. As far as like what kind of shots you want to get and angles and stuff, or is it just like in the moment, like when you went to the post office for to send some of the packages and stuff?
Yeah, so that one I can explain pretty easily. I think this usually for me it's way more about what I'm talking in that day. I would just take one piece of paper and then I would write down what's my core message for today's video, and that was like, hey, I'm back, and hey, I have a couple of announcements. And then I wrote down, okay, what are my 4 announcements? Just a short bullet points, everything that I wanted to mention. And then I just go out and shoot it. And for me, by now getting the B-roll, that is internalized so much that whenever I go out, I know that to connect the story, now I'm going to set the camera down here so that they see that I'm walking along the street. And then here I take the camera and then I take a B-roll shot from behind a wall or something. So for me, I don't have to think about that anymore, and I would certainly not plan that. But the only thing that's planned is really what's the main message and what am I doing in the video.
And is that true for like the bigger ones as well?
That was basically for everything that is in terms of vlogs. And then currently I'm only basically doing 2 different formats, and that is the vlogs and that is the reaction videos. And for the reaction videos, it's pretty simple. Then I either decide if I have watched it before, then I'm going to be focusing more on analyzing it and breaking it down. And if I'm only reacting to it, I was not watching it beforehand so that I could actually have some genuine laughs on the recording.
Oh yeah, as your editing skills, like have you studied it, or is it self-taught?
No, it's all self-taught. And it's quite funny because I just came off a call with a guy from Florida who's been asking basically the same question. And the thing is that one big way that I taught myself to edit or to make the shots look cool is that I did exactly what I'm doing now in the reaction videos. That's how I've learned beforehand. So I looked at videos from other people that I found really, really cool. And then I downloaded them and then I brought them in my Premiere Pro editing. And then I would just cut them apart and see where did they cut and how did they cut the music and where did they transition and how did they frame the shot. And I would break it down exactly like I'm doing now in the reaction videos for myself to learn it. And basically now the only thing that I'm doing is I'm taking you with me while I'm doing that.
Oh, that's really smart. Do you use any tutorial websites, or do you do any courses, at least in the beginning, as far as Premiere? And I don't know if you use After Effects as well.
I try to stay away from After Effects if I don't absolutely need to use it. Sometimes I'm forced to do it for kind of like animation titles and that kind of stuff. But other than that, I don't even bother. And then I would say 95 or 98% is completely self-taught and with just watching tutorials. So I would start a new project. I saw something cool in another video. Then I downloaded it. I analyzed it. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to try something similar. Then I go out, shoot a couple of things, bring it home, watch a tutorial on how to edit that kind of next function that I don't know in Premiere. And then that's how step by step you learn to do the next function and the next function and the next function. And here's how you do the transitions like this. So it was a combination through practice on my own videos, watching a shit ton of free tutorials. Then yeah, I did some courses, but in general, I don't feel like they're adding that much value because after all, you can just Google or YouTube search the most of that info. The only thing is that a course might give it to you in a more structured way. But in the end, it's way more about the practicing of what you learned than of how the content that you consume and the knowledge that you consume is structured. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we got like 2 or 3 more minutes until the next person's going to call. So if you have any one final question, then feel free to shoot it now.
Let me see. You did some editing for, is it Olsen?
John Olsen, yeah.
Yeah. How did that, did they see some of your clips online, or is there a connection? Do you know anyone?
No, it's very easy to explain. At that point, it was in 2016. I had just filmed my very first video. And I had a very, very little experience in editing. And then they just announced that they were looking for a new filmer for their vlog. Back then he was John Olsen. He was had a filmer, Marcus Valeur. He's actually a Norwegian guy. He was filming him, and then they announced that they would be needing someone to help them on their team. And I was like, okay, fuck, I have no reference. I have nothing to show. I have zero credibility. What can I do to at least put myself on the map with them? And then I downloaded 250 of their vlogs from that year. And I made a compilation, and it took me 50 hours to make it, and I sent it in. And then with my application, and then they saw it, and they were like, hey man, this is super, super cool. Can we post it on as a New Year video? And that was the 1st of January 2017. And they posted it. And that, I think I got my first 60-ish subscribers or so.
Oh, nice.
And then a couple of months later, they announced that, hey, now we did 1 year of a vlog every single day. We want a really cool highlight reel from that year. Now we're announcing a competition for the best highlight compilation to win a prize. And I was like, fuck, I didn't get a prize first time. I'm not going to let anyone get this now. And so I made another compilation video, exact same procedure, 50 hours downloading so many clips. And I edited that and sent that in under my girlfriend's name because I thought like, okay, they're not going to take me again if they see the name. And then like a couple of hours before they wanted to post it, my girlfriend sends me a screenshot. Hey, John Olsen just sent you a message on Instagram. And then she was replying him back, yeah, actually text my boyfriend. It's Florian who made the first video. He's going to send it to you. And that was how I got to make those 2 videos. And then half a year later, they asked me to make one. And then another time later, the Norwegian guy actually asked me to make one for their wedding as well. And that's how that came to be. So that was
really cool.
That was basically my first big reference, but it was a shit ton of work. But that's how that came to be. And so what I really hope that you get out of this is that getting to the point where I made it now, it was no magic. It was just a bit of hard work, a couple of years of patience, and continue to do this. And that's nothing that you couldn't go out and do as well. So if you've been enjoying these kind of phone conversations, then over here I created a playlist. I'm thinking of turning this into a new kind of series, so Ask Florian Land. Totally got that inspiration from Ask Gary Vee. I love watching those. Also, if you're living in Sweden, then this week, 2 events. Thursday, free creator meetup event. Saturday, content creator breakthrough workshop. I'd be excited to see you on either one of these. Until next time.